Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins. We're live right now, speaking to the world, and welcome everybody from planet Earth. We're broadcasting right here, Big Island, Hamakua Coast, and we've got a lot of breaking news coming in. And the breaking news is the public. The public has information, and we're here sharing it to the world. You know, it's been a big past couple days. Did you hear Chief of Staff, the U.S. Army? He basically, in your face, warned of invasion coming up. And I guess we better get prepared because he says there's going to be a fight of hybrid armies, and we're going to be fighting little green men. That's right on our YouTube channel, Third Phase Moon. You got to take a look at what Mark A. Malley said just a few days ago. It will blow you away. Let me actually just put that in the link right now on our chat room. Things are freezing up here. I don't know why. I guess we're getting overloaded, but let's bring it in. Let me pull this up. We're going to bring that link so everybody could hear for yourself what Mark A. Malley, Chief of Staff for the Army, said just a few days ago. We're fighting little green men. He's maybe preparing us. Little soft disclosure there, big disclosure, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot of phone calls coming in, so let's get to it. This is Third Phase of Moon, and I bet you we're going to be in for a wild ride. So let's get to callers right now. Let's go to area code 702. You're live, Third Phase. Welcome to the show.
Hey, it's me, Chalice.
Hello, Chalice. Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Wow, it's been a while. Welcome back to the show.
I heard Christina was sick. I was worried about her.
Who? Christina?
Christina George?
No, she's fine. She's moving along. She's got a big network she's moving into, and apparently 10 million people will be listening in. So, and she's here.
One.
She's all
Wonderful.
Good, Christina. Yep, maybe we could get you guys talking tonight on the show. But
yeah,
I know it's been a while since you've been on, and I'm glad you called in, Chalice, because that people have been asking, "Where's Chalice? Where's Chalice?" We want to hear more from you. So now you're here.
I've been trying to do recordings and try to capture things to have evidence, and
really,
it's building pretty good. And we're having complications, like you got to ask permission and stuff, but it's cool. It's coming along, and I want to show the parts of Vegas that people don't know. And when you see the videos, it'll be cool. But we're almost ready. But the three saucers coming in, those are our military. Those are very large. Bill witnessed them, and he knew the size. And the landing is right there on S4, and that's where they keep them. Those are ours. I'm talking about, we're going to talk about what they're saying, the generals right now. They released a lot, and I got some private videos that were really cool, and I try to post them, but they come up 404 for some reason to everybody else. But when I watch them, I have to watch them when they give them to me, and they're trying to, get it out there, and it's kind of nervous. But the little green men they talk about are the people that actually live here on Earth. They really are a species of people.
Oh, wow.
And
so you did,
they're real.
So, Chalice, you did hear Mark A. Malley's statements that, we put it out on Third Phase Moon. We had
that because they have to release this, because right now it's down to the guns. If they decide that they're going to attack like they say they're going to, we're supposed to have backup, and they're all supposed to step in, and we got our own really amazing stuff to fight, and the civilians won't have to do anything if they get it done. But what happened in China and Japan, it was crazy. You hear about the earthquake? I mean, those Indigo kids are amazing. But when you're fighting in this kind of thing, it's more of like mind power and thought. So if you start hearing like there's storms or tragedies, you're supposed to sit still. Don't move. Think good thoughts. We're going to survive. Everything's going to be great. And they start trusting you more through these events. And, they love bread. I learned that one. But
they love bread?
Yeah, they love bread. If you're going to offer up anything, I think Hawaiian bread is their favorite.
Hawaiian bread? The Hawaiian sweetbread?
Yeah, they love bread, Hawaiian sweetbread.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Okay.
That's one of the things you can offer them. But listen, if we go up against these little green men, they're going to come up from underneath us. We have a lot of, they're not, sure, they're mind control, but if you can control your own thoughts and you can, and keep your thoughts strong, and we could win them. There's a reason why they've hidden all these years. And they're, it's all about the illusion of what they think they can do to us. But, I'm ready for it. You want to come up underneath the ground and you want to mess with us after everything? Our men already went into the ground and kicked their asses, and we took their saucers. So our men are awesome. And they go into these battles, and they've been having, I'm not supposed to say, but Iron Man is important because that's a statement of stating how many times they had these giant ships come in and we fought them. And our men are amazing. The generals, they earn it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's amazing heroes we don't even get to hear about.
That's what was amazing about that speech is that he knew the public was watching. There were cameras rolling, and he was kind of getting, I think that's prepared that something's going to go down. But what do you think about fighting the little green men? Are these guys our enemies or
well, there is that we controlled them. First, the Navy controlled them, and they we made a deal with them, stay here. Then they got bigger, and then the Air Force took over and made a deal with them for their technology, which was good, but it was bad because for everything they give us, like we think these phones are awesome, or they're really kind of stupid phones if you know the real cube technology. They cheated us. And they use it against us, and people, they don't realize that, hey, go get your eyes done. You're having chips put in your eyes. Well, this technology will manipulate your eyes, and it can do things to you. When we go up against this war, what I was telling you guys was those camps were important because they got to hide out the little green men to the last minute. They got to have the already intels there. They look human. There are other species. Now, in our time, the species that were around that were great were mostly all human. 95% are humans are these other, we got like 18 bases out in space. And I know all the spaces and I know all that. And you look at them and you say, when are we going to reach these bases? When are we going to start saying, okay, this is done and that's done? I guess it's when they decide, well, we're going to fight. The little green men are going to be in our face. Every human on Earth can't deny it. And they're going to step in to help us, which is going to either be great, or we're going to help ourselves. It's even better. But in the end, there'll be nowhere. So nobody will be able to say, hey, there's no such thing. And then maybe we'll be ready to say, well, if there is a such thing, then, hey, I'd like to go to that base over there. I want to see that galaxy. And when your mind changes instantly, what comes up? You change. Your time changes. And this is where we go to number 2, time level number 2. And unless you know what that means, it's really hard. But it's millennium, and I've learned millennium. And each time you go any levels, you change your own time, and you become more than what they want and less, I think, of what humans that we are now, but we're not so scatterbrained. Have you noticed that some days you go to work every day or you go to the same place every day, and suddenly the next morning you can't find your way there? What's happening there? That's them doing that. When you're programmed, they do it through the TVs, through radio, through all kinds. But you don't want to fall into that because after a program, you get off the air, you say, okay, I'm going to control my mind, and you sit there and you meditate, and you don't let them control you. But they do that. And only other species I'm afraid of that could happen, and they've already attacked us once, was J-Rods. And the J-Rods, remember, they did this. Area 51 had that big fire, and they said, oh, no, it's just a fire. It's just a...
Yes, that video.
That was attacked by them. And so we knew that. So there are species of J-Rod that are pretty different, and they look scary. People would think the demons came after and killed everybody. You know what I mean? They would panic.
You're saying this, tell us, that this fire over there, Area 51, just happened within this week. and we're trying to track down the person that shot that video to share it on Third Phase Moon. We want to interview the guy that shot this incredible video, basically Area 51 burning up, it seems like. So you're saying this was some kind of attack?
Yes, it was an attack.
By what? From the inside or the outside?
See, that's the thing. There was an explosion. Did anybody notice the big giant explosion that happened in Japan underneath? Well, if you take the bullet train and you go across under the ocean, you're right there. And this is levels that's happening underneath us. And of course, the civilians on top won't even know that there's still war going on. But we have awesome soldiers out there that are real technology heroes, that people look at them and say, it's not real. But Captain America is real, and this guy is amazing, and he's amazing, and you get to be chosen as that. You know, I mean, you get to use this technology, you get to have to be the best, and you got to be the best. And they do amazing things. I seen this one guy, he was shot in the neck, his guts were cut open, he was stabbed, he was shot, he was stabbed, and he saved like 9 guys. Took over a ship, holded his guts in, his teeth was bashed in, and he walked around until he healed. So I said, are you real? And he said, I'm as real as it gets, but I'm an arty. I heal myself.
What? Okay, hold on, Charles. Wow, I want to get back into that detail of what you just explained within a minute, because that sounds quite interesting. Plus, we got Orlando Smith, geospatial analyst. He's telling me about new technology, neural transmissions to control the mind. He's got a question for you, so hang on tight, everybody. Third Phase of Moon, Blake Cousins, stand by. This is quite incredible. All right. Third Phase of Moon, Blake Cousins back, broadcasting live. And did everybody hear that right, what we just heard? That was quite incredible. Self-replicating cells to heal whatever kind of wounds a body could sustain. Stab wounds, bullet impacts. And then the guy walks around like nothing happened. And this is real. Where was this? Tell us, where exactly was this? How long ago was this?
I think I was about 10, and I witnessed a man right in front of me, and he took a nano, and they gave him a shot in his, gave him a shot. And,
he took a nano?
Shot. they say now you can just inhale it, but it was a nano. The thing is the program nano works with your micros. And when your micros tell your nano what to do, then you can control it with your mind. But most people don't use their mind. That's still the peewee and, the pea instead of the carrot. But you can control the nano by the time you realize it. So these guys always sitting on these computers and they're programming, trying to control their thoughts. And once they do it, and it takes them a while. But, when I've seen men come up and they gave them a shot and I watched their leg broken clean in half, bloody guts, and it healed in front of me, and he was screaming bloody murder. But when it was done, his leg was perfectly fine. And then I watched other men, didn't even make a sound. He just took it, all the pain. So I know this technology exists because my face was demolished by a St. Bernard, and I watched him use it on me.
Yeah, you did state that a St. Bernard attacked you when you were very young and basically scarred you for life.
For life. And my sister, she had the same kind of things on her face, my adopted sister, because we were helping her family. And she looked like a skeleton, and she always said, why do I look different and Chalice looks good? And I say, I don't know. But my dad knew Area 51 people, and he took me there, and they used this technology on me. And this was in 65, 67, 68, And when I turned 10, then I started seeing the technology used on many people. And only the best. And I know they can fix teeth. That's what drives me the most nuts, is that there's a technology where they can just tell the nano, fix your teeth, and they rebuild in your mouth the exact teeth they had before with the same DNA form, and you don't suffer. So I don't understand why all these people have to live through all of this when they have such technology and they know they got it.
Yes,
but the minute people realize that green men is and maybe they'll go like,
yes. What I'm thinking now is what you're explaining to me is they got this medicine or they got this technology that they can heal the body and do whatever they want to fix us under any circumstance. Basically, I guess if you're vaporized by an atomic weapon, maybe they wouldn't be able to put you back together. Agreed?
I was inventing a suit, and I call it a certain name, and I use it with a nano thing. And when I told the kids about it for years, and then when Jackie Chan came out with the tuxedo, I said it's almost like that, except mine was like a jumper that goes to your body and takes your sweat in. And then if you fall and your leg breaks, it's going to tell you, okay, your leg's broke, well, we're going to sit here and fix it for you, and you'll walk away and not even need an ambulance unless you're amputated.
Okay. Exactly. So they have this great technology. Basically, the fountain of youth is right now. It's happening right now. But now they're coming up with this new technology, and I got a feeling this is something to suppress what's great about what you just said, this technology. Now there's going to be new technology to take our minds off things in case we're invalid. They're going to, instead of fix it, they're going to put us under this. And this is what I want to bring in Orlando Smith, because he's got a question for you in regards to this neural new project.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on the show, Blake. Hi, Chalice. Have you heard of this new technology called neural imprinting?
Well,
the technology where they're interrupting the signals in the brain and implanting new signals. As far as the first stage of this technology is just for pain relief, interrupting the pain receptors so that a person undergoing some extreme medical situation might not experience the same level of pain. But what they're projecting and why a lot of investors are following this technology is the ability to truly implant signals directly onto the brain, where creating like a situation of virtual reality, which is in a day of technology and all of these advancements, and also ancient technology and spirituality and multidimensional things. This is just another way of considering what we might be perceiving. What is reality?
All right, this is old technology, like you said, ancient. I mean, if you know anything about, let's just say Napoleon. Napoleon was supposed to be one of the greatest generals, and they said he was kind of a schizo. So one day they took him, and it's in like at Area 51. I watched the thing on it where they put a thing in the top of his head. It was into his bone, which is a skeleton. It was to control him and to make him understand these are the moves he had to make as a general. Now, when he died, they kept that, and they're going to release that one day. But that's how old that technology is. They've perfected it now where it's the size of a nano. It's so tiny. And that nano can do amazing things, anything you want. And you can turn it on them. If the nano's in you, you can use it with your micros, controlling it with all of your chakra and your innate. You can control everything through the spiritual world and actually heal yourself and throw that nano out if you want to, or you can keep it. But I'm telling you, they expire. So that's why they have to keep injecting them in people. And the only ones who don't expire are like the new eyes or the new heart transplants, or they don't expire anymore. They found out a way to keep them there.
Let's bring in another caller. The paranormal investigator is on. Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, paranormal investigator, is that you?
Yeah, it's Christina.
Hey, there you are, Christina. How you doing?
Good. Sorry.
It's one big happy family now.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Looking forward to having you on the show. Moving to the new network, as you said, and looking forward to have you on next month.
Yeah. I'm just glad
Dallas.
you're safe. Huh?
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just glad you're safe, because all this stuff has been really hard on you, and wow.
Yeah,
I've glad.
been pretty hard. But hey,
You're like
I'm a trooper.
You really are. You're like a ninja. That's going to happen to me, so I'm not going to be at this time.
Okay.
Hey, let's. What about this nano stuff? Where did it come from? Did it come from the Roswell crash? Was it developed at Area 51?
The first nano that I know of, that the Grays, they had the nano, and they made the deal when we gave them Area 51 and the 3 bases, and they had to stay in their own bases and notify us and let us know when their technology got better. But until that guy knocked the wall down, we didn't know that they had increased 1,000 years. We thought 20 years. And my dad was upset about a bigger thing, that the secret that they had, they held back. And the Air Force snuck in and got it, which was smart. Somebody had to. But we didn't know that it would separate all of us like that. But when the nano was involved, there was things that my dad had built in front of us that was amazing. Like I used to tell Bill about it and the kids about the cloaks. And what I liked was you could take the
cloak
off. The cloak. And ours was like a little cloth, like making a blanket. And it started out, and it took you years to get this blanket to grow because you have to program it. You take one nano, you put it in like a little dot, and you have to use a microwave, and there's all this details. So my dad would show me. So, I mean, when somebody got hurt, my brother was crippled. I kept telling my dad, let's just put the nano in him and heal him. He said, Dallas, you're crazy. He could build another arm, and we wouldn't know it. So then when Spider-Man came out and showed that, I was like, maybe he was right, because I was really bad at that, because I wanted to try that on everything. I thought that when you can build what you can build, and, like the hoverboards, that makes me mad, because they're not the original hoverboards like what you think. The hoverboards that I know float, and you can't really fall off of them, and they're really cool. Yeah. But that technology has all been there. Those are old technologies, and you guys don't even get them.
Old school. Come on. Why don't we have this? I want it now. We got to have this stuff. Christina, you got questions?
Your generation. And that's sad, because if this goes through and they decide they're going to trump us and try to do that, if they try, I believe we'll be united 100%, no problem. And I believe finally it'll come clean. Everybody will have to. And this is where are we going to choose these military that's back in these graves and hit all this stuff, or the ones that know it all? They do know. They know what they've had to deal with. And to a level, we never had to deal with half of it. And if you go into a bank and you know that's your bank, but you don't know how to run it, are you going to take it over and say, I'm taking it over and you don't know? Well, you've got to have somebody you trust. And this is where, it's going to be, we have to choose. But when you realize that there are bad and there are good for us, not, for the planet, that's what's going to matter. What's good for the planet and us, not for them or the galaxy. And the galaxy and all them are the galactic. So I believe that Tolok and all them will listen to us. And I believe that we will have a chance as a humanity to survive in every way. There's no way around any other way. We're still alive. And the reason we're hanging on is that somebody's out there saying, hey, they're worthy. And we are. We're going to be the new Supermen. We're supposed to be, we're supposed to be 30 years old, and we're going to be showing the rest of the world what dinosaurs are like. And when the kids in the other planets ask you, what is a dinosaur? Well, we drive cars. We saw the planets without anybody telling us. We had children from flesh. And these stories, you say, well, I'll never get to drive a car again because there's no more concrete roads on Earth. Well, there's still a lot of other stuff that you wouldn't believe that would blow that out of the water. And they don't want to tell you that because then you'd leave this sitting. And I do like cars. I love racing. But when you see the future, you look back and you say, hey. But the thing is every time one of us would put a man or a human or somebody, even a child, into the future, it was rare because the thing is you don't, there's no shadows, there's no lies, there's no bullshit. You're just going to be loving somebody, but we don't work in the future like you think. We spend most of our days and we praise the light and we enjoy our lives and it's pleasure because that's what we do, and we find ourselves doing what we never thought we would be doing and helping each other with more. Yes?
Did you just say you met some time travelers? You met time travelers before?
Oh, yeah. And when you're talking about the boys that's in the chair, every one of those boys, yeah, they time traveled. They did things that you wouldn't believe.
Oh, yeah, the young boys, they would, you said that the young generation or younger statured people would have a easier time doing the time jump. What was that all about?
Well, when they time jumped, I think it was 1952. My dad said that there was like 1,000 people that went through this one place to a jump to another. He said they all did the jump really well, but some of them came out of it a little mixed up. And he didn't understand why none of them did. They thought this would be a great adventure, that it would already just make us Jetsons, and we could do it. But it didn't happen that way. Some people looked at it as religious devil worship. They turned and they started tripping about things. And of course, you're going to consider every aspect as what if it's real, So my dad took the time, and each one of them took the time to figure out what happened, because he jumped and it was fine. It was jumped for a lot of people, it was fine, but a few of them it wasn't fine. So that's when they even did the Philadelphia experiment. And that's the thing, is that when you do all these experiments and you realize time travel is big time. Now, fourth dimension, if you know anything about the fourth dimension, you know it's mostly considered the darkest, and hell is what they consider hell. So when you're going through fourth dimension, right now we're holding on to the fourth at the end, and we're going into 5. Which by the time we reach 5, we're supposed to be ready for this change of everything. And I'm ready for it, but I'm scared because I like my ego, and that's a big part about it. A lot of people, I'm scared because they'll look at this as a religious sense, and it is in a form of supernatural feelings of spiritual events. And there are a lot of species out there that expect you to feel this, and if you don't, then they'll probably judge you. But I'm pretty sure that all of them are each and individually different. It's like if you look on Earth and you say, oh, look, they're all human, but they're all one color. No. With the J-Rods, that's the same way. But let's say you walk out and this person is an orange person, or a red person, or a green person, or a purple person.
What? Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting. When you bring up J-Rod, it's just like a trigger word for me, because when Ron Gardner shared Dan Birch's information to us on Third Phase Moon, Ron Gardner was giving out a lot of stuff, and then he had this website about J-Rod. Now it's all shut down. Ron Gardner passed about 6 months ago. Unfortunately, we lost a good one. Did you ever meet Ron?
Yes, Ed. It was I cried through the whole video. It was great. He remembered me, and he was a wonderful man, and I loved the video. I tried to keep it. Came up 4 and 4. I wanted everyone in the world to see it. It was beautiful. He released a lot of names. He gave them to these 3 men, and he told me that he released all about me, and it was me. It confirmed me. But I told him about the evidence. What do I do? And he told me never to give the evidence, to only give out the stuff that I know. And he gave me a bunch, and I rewatched the video like one other time, and it was just gone after that. My phone was crushed. There was a lot of weird events happening to prevent me from rereading it. But I loved it, made me cry, brought back memories. There was code words. There were events that I instantly remembered that happened to me, that it's been happening a lot, that I shut down. So there's more I could tell you, but it's just that they make it very clear that the more you talk about, the more dangerous it is. And it's getting real for me. It's very dangerous. But I'm going to still follow through. I've decided because he did ask me to do this. They've all asked me to do this in their own form. So I want to show the world when I say portals where they are in Vegas. I want to show what I'm talking about. There's buildings there you don't see that are really there, and I'll show you how I can try to prove it. But every time I approach these situations, the camera's kind of like burned up. My phone died on me and won't start. I had to get a new phone. And I go through like a lot of batteries, but I got 2 videos out of 100. And I know that if I get them ready, then I'm just going to put them like live if they'll let me. But everything is out.
Speaking of these portals, I know. Speaking of these portals, and I know Christina's got a question for you, but I want to get into with J-Rod, where he basically stepped through a Stargate. He portaled back to his home planet, and it was the escape of J-Rod, escape from Area 51, the way we call it on our YouTube channel. And the information in there was quite sensitive. But were you there after the jump of J-Rod? Did you get to meet J-Rod?
You know what? J-Rod was there like 50 years. And people don't realize he was there when I was growing up. And so was Guardian. And when Guardian escaped, they all chose this. But you know why J-Rod escaped finally? Why Dan Burst did that, I believe. Because to be honest with you, when they came there and they attacked, and the J-Rods decided they were going to take something, they didn't go in to save him. And my dad was very upset about that. If they came in and they attacked us humans, and they went right to our Area 51, number 1 base, and they fired, they did all this stuff, why didn't they save their person that they cared about, their partner, the J-Rod? Why didn't they? He sat there waiting, thinking they're coming for me. He's excited. You got to imagine if your colleagues are finally coming and you're on another planet trapped, and this is how they treated you, they left you behind? What did they take? No one ever asked that question. And what they took was the time portal cube. And that thing changed our timeline. Before, only humans knew time. And they didn't know how to find us. If you try to find us in the middle of time, you're not going to know it unless you have the exact coordinates. Cube was our coordinates. So when Dan Burst found out that now what's the reason of torturing him? What's the reason of taking his blood every day? We're not helping him. We can't help him. And it felt guilty because, look, he's another person on another planet of time, 2027 or so, 27 something, wasn't it? And when he returned, we hoped that he would still have his family, you know. But I still see positivity out of him. I really hope that he's happy. And when he does return, I know that we have a friend on Earth. But he won't trust the government, I'll tell you that. But he loves the humans. Now, they all don't think that way. And the J-Rods, there's a lot of them. They came in with 6 saucers. They weren't kidding. And they did what they did. And we tried to cover it up. But there's nothing they could do because how do you cover up that happening? Well, now we can see into space. I mean, we see further than that. And if you get that app, you can see it all when they're coming and when they're going. They're not going to hide anymore. And these other planets are cool. I mean, if you noticed all that, I told you they'd put a key in it and drive it right up, and this stuff would start happening in front of us. Well, when this other one comes, Planet X is there's people that are two types. The one type is just like, you know, the Americans, and they're like, hey, let's love our humans. We love humans. And the other type is like, oh, hell no, they're idiots. They have no ideal. They don't even use their brains. They sit in front of the TV and rather be a pea than a carrot. And they judge us. And they're like that. But at least the Andromedans tell them, don't touch them. Nobody is to be inside the center of the earth or outside, or it's galactic battle war. So now the Greys won't leave because they say that they shut the gate down and won't let them leave. Okay, great. Could
this be the Army Chief of Staff, what he's talking about? Maybe that could be happening. Look, Christina, you got a question for Talis here?
Well, I don't know so much of a question. I've actually been kind of concerned because I know that once she came out on your show about all of this and then actually came on my show, I had been keeping in pretty, close contact after that, and she was actually going through quite a bit, and so she kind of...
And I brought Bill again. There's a lot going on still. Yeah. But I did this tonight because I did promise him on his deathbed that I would do this. I have to release so much information. You know what's cool is when we drive underneath the freeway on the thing that I'm trying to show everybody about where the portal is, it's funny because if I can catch it just in time, Area 51 plane is not even 30 feet above me when we're guiding through on the freeway. How do they do that exact time? It's a time warp thing that I'm trying to grab the roof of my car and feel like I'm driving or touching the roof of the plane when it goes over, and I can feel them say, look, we're right here. They're colleagues. And I'm not afraid of them. They tell me to come back, but then I'm scared because sometimes I do get scared because they get close and they're before. Remember, Bill was at the top of the hill, and I tried to make him understand this is what you're looking at. It's 30 feet above you, and you're feeling it, right? I don't see nothing, Chalice. I don't hear nothing, and I should see this. And I said, all right, I'm going to show you. And I asked them, please make a sound. And this military copter sound came out. The wind started blowing till we were almost falling down from the bikes. And Bill's sitting there, and I said, now, Bill, look where the sound is. Pay attention. You have to pay attention. Our minds are closed. You can open them. And he fought in his mind. It made him mad. The more he got mad, the less chance he probably had to even see that. But I told him, I said, don't give in. Just wait. It'll happen naturally. But it has. 3 giant ones came in. He witnessed them all. He could tell you the size, what the thing is. There was emblems on the side of Air Force. We knew right what base they went into, what time, and, where they go. It's amazing stuff. We're witnessing it. And it happens like daily. And now this storm and this stuff is happening. They don't want us to know what's supposed to be happening in space. If you have your thing on the phone like we have, you can actually find Mars and find Jupiter, and when it's in the backside where we can't see it, you will see the planets do these beautiful dances that they don't tell us nothing about, and you can witness it. So I witnessed that. I love it. But I love the best part is when I'm now getting contact with those other space stations, and I didn't realize that there were so many, and now I counted 18 outside in our galaxy right there. And they come and go. They come and go. Wouldn't you love that? Just to say, look, it's my turn. I want to go here. I can accept this. I'm not going to cause trouble. Only peace and harmony, right? Only love. We just want to know this technology.
What about these bad guys, Chalice?
Oh, the bad guys? Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Before what's going on over Jack's ranch, that dark entity that he's captured? He said it was following him around. It didn't want to.
No, the 8th dimension, I think it is. The dark entities, they come from the 8th dimension. When they're coming, they are going to. The Greys are talking to these dimensions underneath the ground, and when they tell them, that we're the enemy, they don't know any better, and they're kind of like an elemental. They're going to check out the area. They're going to see what happens. Don't get in their way. They'll hurt you. They don't have they're like, like the light people, the Pleiadians, the originals, where the lights they're so bright you can see through their flesh. This is the dark ones where you only see the darkness. And that's why I said, what would you do if you've seen purple? What would you do if you've seen green? I mean, they're out there. And when someone's watching this kind of thing, they could be cloaked. It could be a cloak. And we do have that. I watch them walk around my house, and I put out baby powder. Boom, got you. And then they disappear. Where the hell did you go, bitch? Excuse my French. But I don't like them walking around my house. And you know that they do this, especially now when I release information to start.
Wow.
So that's my action is baby powder. I'll just blow it across the room. I'll clean it up. I'd rather clean it up and know when you're in my house. And I close my quarantine areas down to a tiny little area because they can, that when they try to take you into another portal or something and you don't know you're in it, but you think you're in the room you're at, there's always an object that is everything the same in the room. And I've had to make the objects go less and less so that I know which object's going to be the one that I can count on to say, that's different. You got me. And that's when you know they got you. But you won't know if you're not aware of your surroundings and you say, it looks like where I'm at. It looks exactly where I was standing. Everything is the same. But why can't I move? See? Wow. You're sitting in a chair.
That's absolutely terrifying. And unfortunately, that's Third Phase Moon Radio. And we're going to be back next week, Friday. We're going to be taking calls from the public. Sorry, I couldn't get to everybody tonight because when Chalice calls in, let me tell you, she's got so much information. I got to have it on. It's just amazing stuff that comes in from Chalice. Sorry, people, that I couldn't get to everybody tonight, but wow, I think we've heard quite incredible information, detailed, and the story is precise. That's what's important in Chalice's story. Chalice, thanks again for joining us at Third Phase Moon, and we look forward to your interview or upcoming event with Christina George as well. Christina, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hey, you're the one who'll be on the show too. So remember, the 19th of May. See you then.
19th of May. That's the day before our dad's birthday. That's good. So it's a good reminder. I know some big events happening. Got it. And that's going to be quite exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And Chalice, thanks again for joining us on Third Phase. Be safe.
Thanks. Have a great time.
This is quite humbling because Chalice, again, she's putting it out there. She told her dad before he passed that she's going to go all the way and she's going to do whatever she can to get this information out. And that's what's important. We got to get this information out. So what you've just heard is sensitive. Share it with your friends. Share it with the world. Make people wake up that we're not alone. Be sure to check out YouTube, Third Phase of Moon, for updates pretty much daily because there's just overwhelming support from around the world, and they're capturing it, and they know where to share it. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone.
Transmission completed. We have an unidentified object.